How's it going guys, Chris here with another guide for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and in this one we're going to be focusing on the SP-R 208, a bolt action marksman rifle that you'll be able to get your hands on once you reach rank 8. So the SP-R 208 seems to be based on the real-life M24 sniper weapon system, or SWS for short, a rifle made by Remington Arms, first designed and serviced in the late 80s. It's basically the military and police version of an earlier weapon, the Remington M700 series, sharing a pretty similar design, with the same role to deliver death from a distance, designed to provide accurate fire on targets up to 800 meters away, thanks to its 24-inch stainless steel barrel and Remington long-action bolt system, capable of blasting out its 7.62 NATO bullets at almost 800 meters per second, making it a very deadly force to be reckoned with against targets far away. Down to its design of manufacture, it was also made to withstand a bit of bashing around too. A weapon ready for rough use on the field, making it an ideal candidate for modern dusty combat zones, with the M24 seeing operational use in several different wars, such as in Afghanistan and Iraq. This durability allows the rifle to keep on working as intended over a pretty long life, still said to be just as, if not more effective after 10,000 shots fired, still retaining a good level of accuracy well beyond this too. It's referred to as a weapon system because of the whole host of attachments that come with it, including telescopic sights, extendable stock, and even an optional fold-in bipod. All things that are going to assist the user for long-range use, overall making it a solid package for sniping. So despite being a marksman rifle, because the SP-R 208 is a bolt-action weapon, I'm mainly going to be comparing it to other bolt actions and snipers, with it sharing a lot of similarities regarding stats. The gun's going to deal the most consistent damage up to 29 meters, always putting the other guy down in just one shot to the upper body and upper arms. But aim below the torso or hit a forearm, and that damage is just going to shy away from a one-hit kill. Damage is going to drop down from 30 meters onwards, basically making those one-hit kills a bit less consistent, dealing even less damage for limb shots and lower torso shots over a medium range. And beyond the 55 meter mark, the SP-R's damage will drop down even further, now making everywhere on the body a 2-hit kill. So basically, aside from planting those headshots, which are always going to give your enemy a bad day, you'll want to be aiming for the chest area, while avoiding shots in the lower body if possible, generally giving you the best results over a close to mid distance. Although these bullet stats don't exactly reach the power of quite a few of the other rifles that are capable of dealing 100 damage to the chest over all ranges, like the MCPR and Signal 50, it's still not too bad overall. It just might not feel quite as consistent for getting single shot kills over longer ranges. The SP-R's fire rate of 59 RPM is also slightly faster than a few of those stronger rifles too, allowing for quicker follow-up shots should the first one miss or not take your target down straight away. So let's check out the recoil and talk a little bit about accuracy. Being a bolt-action marksman rifle, the SP-R's kick isn't exactly going to affect your performance too much, as you're going to need to cycle the bolt in between shots, letting recoil reset as you do, generally making the gun quite accurate as a result. You're not going to notice anything too wild here, with shot groupings mainly being affected by the weapon's sway as you breathe, rather than the actual recoil itself forcing shots off target, like you'd see with other automatic weapons. Holding your breath and focusing your shot should help to reduce this sway, thus making the SP-R even more precise and easier to line up your aim over further distances. Suffice to say, recoil shouldn't really give you any problems, and the gun should have a high level of accuracy, especially when you're not moving, complemented by a decent bullet speed of 680 meters per second, which should feel fine enough over mid-ranges. Not the nippiest speed, but still better than a few of the others. Hipfire accuracy isn't exactly a crucial stat to boost a bolt-action weapon's effectiveness, though it's still best knowing that the SP-R 208 is slightly better at getting no scopes than a few of its counterparts, having less hipfire spread than most of the other bolt actions, matching up with the Lockwood lever action rifle. I wouldn't exactly advise you to go running around trying to shoot everyone from the hip, as it's still not going to be very accurate, though at point blank range, you're still more likely to land a shot than a lot of the other snipers. Having a magazine size of 5 cartridges is a pretty average amount of rounds for a rifle like this to carry, just like most of the others in their base forms. So you can technically net yourself up to 5 kills with a fully loaded mag, depending on range and whether or not you miss your shots of course. Just like quite a few of the other bolt-action weapons too, the SP-R 208's also got the very same reload speeds, with tactical reloads taking 3 seconds when you've got rounds left over, and empty ones taking a little bit longer, pretty much just adding on an extra second. This is a fair bit faster than some of the harder hitting rifles like the Signal 50 and MCPR 300, allowing you to get back into the action slightly quicker than them, possibly giving you a bit of an advantage here. Another important thing that just might give you an edge in a gunfight is the SP-R's aim down sight speed, being a little bit snappier than average compared to the other bolt actions. It doesn't quite beat the SAB 50, but it does beat the rest, and with the ADS exit speed also not being too bad either, this generally gives the rifle a fairly good set of mobility stats, helping to make it feel a bit more reliable when you're using it closer to danger, and in situations where you might have to take on several enemies one after the other, allowing the SP-R 208 to be a tad more aggressive. Though do keep in mind that adding the scope on there will slow down the ADS slightly. So when it comes to Gunsmith attachments, there's only really two ways that you'll probably want to optimise the SP-R 208, either as a sniper rifle, or as an aggressive close distance risk-reward type weapon. Looking at the barrels, you'll probably benefit from an extended one like the Elevate 11 and the fluted R67 if you intend to use the gun over mid to long distances, as these are going to extend damage drop off while increasing the muzzle velocity. ADS speed and hipfire spread will be made a bit worse, but this is probably going to be worth the trade-off, especially if you're hardscoping. Otherwise, on the flip side, the much shorter 12.5 inch carbon barrel is going to give you the opposite result, making the gun much more mobile for close quarters standoffs with other players, while nerfing effectiveness at range. Optical scopes and sights are a personal preference, especially with this gun being adapted to fit most ranges, though obviously go for the one that best suits the other attachments, though if you intend to run and gun, the iron sights are usually fine enough. Laser sights are probably going to be less useful with this gun as a whole, especially if you intend to snipe, though for an aggressive loadout you still might want to try something to increase aim down sight speed, like the Schlager Peckbox 4 or the FSS Olay V. There's quite a few different muzzles to pick from that are going to help you out for long ranged use, like the Polarfire S and the Talon 5 for example. And if you don't mind sacrificing some movement and mobility speed, then I'd probably recommend one of these or something similar. Because the SP-R can often take 2 hits to kill over distance, you might want to consider using hollow point ammo to prevent them from running away so easily after the first bullet connects. Not a bad choice with this gun in particular. Something that's probably going to make the gun feel a bit more accurate is the Price and Enforcer stock, which is going to boost aiming stability by making that breathing effect less pronounced, which can sometimes throw your aim off when aiming and shooting quickly. And as for the bolt, the basic one is fine enough, though I might recommend going for the ST87 instead, which is going to increase the fire rate, which can be handy for firing quicker follow-up shots, beneficial for the SP-R, which might often need 2 bullets to put your enemy out cold. In conclusion, the SP-R 208 is generally a slightly more aggressive bolt action rifle than normal, having a bunch of stats to give it an edge over the others regarding speed and mobility. Its optimal range is set a little bit closer to the action, packing the most punch and performing at its best over a medium range where one-hit kills are going to be easier to secure. With that said, if you're quick to the trigger and accurate enough, the SP-R is also capable of destroying enemies up close too, able of taking on several players in quick succession with that above average fire rate and lots of short range power. Though it will be a lot riskier to use here, and missed shots can often get you punished in close quarters. Those quicker than average ADS speeds and reloads should help to make the gun feel a bit more responsive and dependable than some of the other bolt actions. Yet another thing to boost its effectiveness and ease of use within those shorter sight lines. Despite being a bolt action rifle, it's not the greatest thing in the world for long range fights, often taking more shots to kill than other sniper type weapons unless you aim for the noggin of course. Having a fairly average bullet speed lets it perform fine enough over those medium distances where the gun is designed to excel, though over long and extreme ranges you might need to lead your target's movements a bit more and maybe aim slightly higher too to account for bullet drop, which might seem a bit more pronounced. It might not have the best stats for long distance sniper showdowns, but the SP-R 208 is still one of the more versatile options available, doing a pretty good job over a variety of different ranges. So that's it for another one folks. Hope you enjoyed the guide and learned a few things. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll be seeing you in that next one.